Hey there, fabulous, balanced, not busy, and book club ladies. I'm Crystal Stine, and I have to apologize to all of you. I was invited so sweetly to join you and completely messed up. I had it on the wrong week on my calendar. I never used Zoom's fancy little add to calendar thing that would have put it on the right date. I had another work meeting, so I am so sorry I couldn't join you live, but I did want to send you a little message and thank you so much for reading Holy Hustle and talking about it and going through the book. I know one of the things that was shared that was that you sort of all were realizing that you needed a bit of a boundaries reset, and I completely 100% quite obviously understand that. So one of the things that I wanted to encourage you in is to go ahead and take the time to do that. So sadly, while I wasn't joining you on Wednesday, I was actually presenting something very similar at work. So I work as the communications and online director for my church, and we were meeting with our small group leaders who are struggling with the same thing. And so they were really trying to figure out, how do I find balance? How do I I don't know, guys. Do you know how to find balance? I think balance is not quite the word we're looking for. They wanted to know, how do you keep people engaged? How do you stay committed to things? How do you get people to keep showing up? And all of the same things that it seems like you were all coming up with as well. And so one of the things that I encourage them to do that maybe might help and encourage you as well is to take some time to just reset. Go ahead, spend time with God. One of the things we talk a lot about in ministry, at least the ministry I work in, is that we're not really very effective in the work that we do if we're not taking the time to step back and be present in our relationship with God and growing in that. That's what we need to refill so we have something to pour out of. And when we stop making that a priority, then everything else fights for attention. And when God isn't my number one thing, and he is my life instead of just something that I add on to all the things that I do, everything else immediately starts feeling urgent and just chaotic, and I feel scattered and even more unable to keep the commitments that I've made than I normally am, apparently. So that would be one thing I would encourage you to do, is just take a little bit of time over the next few weeks and be okay, even if it means stepping back a little or saying no to something, to really take that time to be present with God, to make that a priority and see how everything else falls in line. Because one of the things that will happen is when our to-do lists and our tasks and those obligations and responsibilities that we have, when those all fall in line under God's will and his plan for our life, we won't necessarily achieve balance, because at no point in our lives in any season will anything ever be perfectly balanced, right? We will never be able to dedicate exactly the same amount of time and energy and resources to all the things that we have to do, all the hats that we have to wear. So think of it more as working in harmony, with God being the grand orchestra conductor of all of the things that he has put in our lives. And certain elements and certain moments and certain seasons, the rhythm will be different. And maybe in one season work will rise to the top, and in another season family will take that place, and in another season your hobbies or your passions or this new thing that God is calling you to will rise up. That doesn't mean any of it's not working, not coming together in the background, creating something beautiful and peaceful, but it does mean that there are rhythms and seasons for things. So hopefully that is a little bit encouraging to you, that you really are doing important work that matters. You have a purpose. You have a reason to keep going, to keep doing the things that you are called to do. So I am so sad that I missed out on hanging out with all of you and jumping into your Zoom call. I'm so sorry. If you want to connect with me, I would love to chat with you on Instagram. I'm at Crystal Stine. If you want to learn more about the reason that my brain is exploding right now, it's because I'm trying to launch a new book during a pandemic in an election year. It's a thing. I don't know, 2020. So you can learn more about that project at shoutofshouldbook.com. YouVersionReading.com, and I would love for you to check that out. There's another YouVersion reading plan for those of you that enjoyed the one for Holy Hustle. You can check that out at Quieting the Shout of Should. You can just search for that on YouVersion, and that'll pop up. That one's a little shorter, but hopefully you enjoy it as well, and it gives you a little sneak peek of some of the devotions that are actually included in my new book. So you don't have to buy anything new. It's all packaged together for you. So friends, thank you for just being willing to meet, to committing to these conversations, to going through it, to just making community an important part of what you do. So thank you for allowing me and allowing Holy Hustle and this message to be part of it. So I know it's not live, but I'm so grateful for all of you, and hopefully I will get a chance to connect with you online soon.